Hi, this is Bhagyashree Ghosh back with the next question on para summary. So you can pause the video and play it back with your answer and let us now check the answer of this. So let's read it. It says, in recent decades, economists have been struggling to make use of the concept of human capital, often defined as the ability, skills, knowledge, and dispositions that make for economic success. So, just defining the concept of human capital in the first line, and there the first line want to say that economists in the recent decades, recently the economists are struggling to make use of this concept of human capital. Okay, further, yet those who use the term often assume that to conceptualize a phenomena is a first step to manipulating it. So second line says that still some of them who use this concept, because the first line said that some of the economists they struggle to make use of the human capital. The second line said that still those people who use this, those economists who use this concept, they conceptualize it in a way that they try to manipulate it. And indeed means author is agreeing that this human capital policy is now much in fashion. So it means more and more people are using this. Okay. Then something contrary. But what if many of the abilities and disposition in question are a product of history? Means what if the human capital concept, whichever is discussed, what if most of them, whatever they assume and say about it, they come from history, they are a product of history, and they are capable of being understood and explained, but they are not readily replicated. So something, a concept that is derived from history but not they, that might not be readily available to use in the current scenario. Something like this is being talked about in this paragraph. Now we have to choose that option which is trying to mimic the paragraph. So let's read the option one by one. A option says economist trying to conceptualize human capital must know that ability. There is a problem with A. That A talks A only talks about that economists who are trying to conceptualize the human capital, they must know that this can be a product of history and everything. So the point number A is not complete because passage has kind of two parts. First is it should say that they are struggling to make most of them are struggling to define human capital, and then saying that those of them who are using it may be using it from history, but that may not be good. So A represents only second half of the paragraph, not the first half. So A is incomplete. Let's check B. Economists trying to conceptualize human capital policy for economic success must know history and that success cannot be replicated. It says must know history. Must know history. Economists must know history. Is something like this is there in the paragraph? No. Economists must to know history thing is not there in the paragraph. It is something new. So para summary is never choosing something new. Choosing something new becomes either an inference or something out of the box. Well, that is not the case in a para summary question. For that, there are other topics. Well, coming back to the topic, let's see the C option. The abilities, skills, knowledge, and dispositions that make for economic success are a product of history and may not be replicable. Well, option C is talking about ability, skill, knowledge, and everything. But the main thing, the very main thing, it is not talking about the concept of human capital. Right? The human capital concept, which is exactly the paragraph all about, that is itself not even mentioned in point number C. So we cannot say that it is a replication of the passage. C is not the right summary. Let's check D. D says economists attempting a policy based on human capital for economic success must know that the abilities referred to as human capital may not be readily replicable. Somewhat it tries to mingle with the passage, but it's somewhat fine. But is D the right answer as of now? We cannot say. We have to put these options in hold, which looks correct but it is not. Well, if I compare A and D currently, if let's compare it currently, A or D, which is better among these two at least? Well, as of now, D is kind of DNA. They are A and D. They are not completely complete. They are not fully complete. But D is trying to connect both the ideas together, whereas A is only connecting the second idea. So among A and D, between A and D, D is still a better option. Is D the answer? Let's check the next option, then decide. E says economists struggling to replicate economic success through a human capital policy must know that human capital is a product of history and may only be understood. Economists must know that human capital is this and that. Paragraph is not saying or not suggesting what economists must know or what economists must not know. So E is a completely different and a new information which has nothing to do with this current paragraph because it is not present in this paragraph. So we are left with only one answer that may not be completely precise, but that is very close to the passage meaning, that is option number D. So D is the right answer. You can check bhagyashreeghosh.com for more such questions, for a more study material, for concept, because I have created menus for each and every topic of the VARC with vocabulary, study material and everything. Subscribe to this channel as I am going to upload more videos on it. So stay tuned. Thank you, and don't worry, I am there with your CAT preparation and I am going to help you to achieve your full potentiality ASAP as soon as possible. Thank you guys.